1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers, but you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelley Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
All right, and welcome to the Friday edition of Unequal Sequel
Extra.
Welcome all. How are you?
What, me or the people listening?
I did just realise that the people listening can't answer me. So how are you, Rich?
I'm all right, mate. I'm okay. Did you notice I did even? I went full on extra then, and you didn't even say a thing.
No, because I turned the screen off because now you make me laugh when I'm trying to say the.
Damn it! That's the fun part.
For you it is, but making me laugh.
I'm good. I've watched loads of movies the last couple of days, and I'm really happy about it.
What have you watched? You can tell me a quick rundown.
I've watched 12 Angry Men. I've watched the Timothée Chalamet one, the Call Me By Your Name, and I've watched the movie we're going to talk about today, which is Eternals.
Brilliant.
I mean, absolutely stretching the concept of this podcast. Because this isn't really a sequel in any sense, is it? Come on.
It is, because it's the MCU. We know we celebrate and review franchises as well. And this definitely falls under that umbrella. They mentioned Thanos.
They do. They mention Thanos. So, I mean, Shang-Chi was pushing it, but at least that had characters that appeared in other films. This hasn't even got any characters from other movies in it. So, you know...
I mean, they mentioned Thor and Iron Man and Captain America, so...
They do. They mention the Avengers, yeah, that's true.
Okay, you know what's coming. It's my... Rich, can you do the plot of the Eternals, please? Or Eternals?
Oh, man, can I do the plot of the Eternals? Just Eternals, without doing the Eternals.
Yeah.
Without spoilers is the hard part, because I don't know how we're going to review this without spoilers, because they're everywhere. Essentially, the Eternals are a group of... immortal superheroes sent
aliens?
to Earth. Aliens, yes, I guess aliens sent to Earth to aid humanity in its development and to fight things called deviants who are on the planet for some reason, and they are there to fight off the deviants and to make sure that essentially humans thrive. That is the general plot. They are sent there by a big, really, really big, omnipotent presence called a Sential.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fun. And Salma Hayek is their leader, who is called Ajax, not Ajax. Great cast, by the way. Really, really good cast. So if Salma Hayek is Ajax rather than Ajax, who a lot of the names of the cast are names you will know from Greek and Roman mythology or from other mythologies, ancient mythologies, because obviously they've been on Earth for time immemorial. So we have Ajax, Salma Hayek, who's the kind of the leader. We have Richard Madden, who plays Icarus, who's kind of the strongest of all the Eternals. We have Gemma Chan, who is as close to a lead of this movie as you could be, I guess, with an ensemble movie like this. She plays Cersei, who has the power to turn stuff into other stuff. Essentially.
Into butterflies?
Yeah, she turns a bus into petals. Like, why not? Angelina Jolie as Thena, not Athena, which is very clear. But Thena. Yeah. We have Kamal Nanjiani. Is it Nanjiani?
You are nailing this.
He plays Kingo. We have my personal favourite, Brian Tyree Henry as Fastos, and Ma Dong-seok as Gilgamesh. And I like those two because I quite like a fully figured man as a superhero. Why not? Makes me feel like I could be an Avenger.
You definitely could, mate.
I would love to be an Avenger who's, a superhero whose power was that I can punch super hard. I'm definitely in Gilgamesh territory, and he makes a mean pie. You know, what a dude. We've got Lauren Ridloff from Walking Dead, who is a deaf actor, and she plays Makari. Oh, Barry Keoghan, who is Druig, and Leah McHugh, who plays Sprite. And I had to look up if Leah McHugh was related to Greg McHugh. If you don't know who Greg McHugh is, just go and Google him. He's very, very funny. And I think...
Is she?
No, she's not. No. He's very Scottish and she's very American. And I think that's it for the main Eternals. And then you've got not a very large supporting cast, but you've got Harish Patel, who plays Kingo's valet, who, if you've seen Run Fat Boy Run, is essentially almost the sort of same character as in Run Fat Boy Run, basically. And yeah, and
I'm nodding.
That's kind of it really for the main cast. Without me,
don't forget about
Kit Harington. Kit Harington, who plays Dane Whitman, who is Cersei's boyfriend. In a weird...
Definitely boyfriend.
Yeah, in a weird way. Because Richard Madden as Icarus is her ex-boyfriend. Ex-husband, potentially? And they were together for like 5,000 years. So, you know, Kit Harington, very much a new relationship.
We should... we normally talk about, when we talk about sequels, the previous one. So, like you said, Eternals is the first of Eternal films.
Yeah.
But it does sit within... the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's set, I would say, well, I'm about to say set now, but it also has many rollbacks to previous history.
The main action
moments.
of the film happens now, but the film starts in like Mesopotamia in like AD 3000. BC 3000, sorry.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's kind of, like 5,000 years ago or so, something like that. So yeah, it obviously goes through a lot of history, very quickly.
And this is set after the events of Thanos
the events of
and
the
Endgame.
Snap, and then Endgame and Thanos being defeated. I think we can say this because they do have a conversation about who's going to lead the Avengers now. So we know that it's happened after Endgame. Because obviously Richard Madden jokes, "Oh well, I could lead them," but that's in the that's not a spoiler because that's in the trailer.
Yeah. First question, Rich, is how well do you think this sits in the MCU?
I mean, it's kicking off a new bit of the MCU, isn't it? So
yeah, does it do a good job in that? Do you reckon? Because it's directed by Chloe Zhao. I won't say her name. Am I getting anywhere close?
I think so. I think you're right. I think you're pretty much there, aren't you? It's Chloe Zhao, who famous for what Nomadland, I think. I don't know if anything
just
else.
Coming off the back of winning an Oscar.
Yeah.
So this is their first.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I'm not one of the people who thinks that there are a lot of people online talking about Eternals movie like it's the worst Avengers movie, like the worst MCU movie ever. Like there's
it's not.
A lot of comic book guys out there. It's like worst Marvel movie ever. It's not. It isn't. And people that tell you that are talking shite because this is not a Thor Dark World, you know, and it is not a Age of Ultron, which is just intelligible nonsense. You know, this is not a bad movie. It's not a great movie, but it's not a bad movie. But it doesn't feel like an Oscar winner's movie. You know, it doesn't feel like a movie that an Oscar-winning director would make. And whether that's because there has been studio interference, and I think there probably is, or there probably has been, but it feels very much like a Marvel movie. And I think what this proves is that it doesn't matter who directs Marvel movies, unless maybe you're Taika Waititi and you have such a unique style that it's going to come through.
Yeah.
But if, you know, a Marvel movie's going to be a Marvel movie. You could ask a tree to direct a Marvel movie and it would still be a Marvel movie. You know, that it's almost like the franchise is stronger than the director.
You have to dance to the beat of their drum.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, don't
absolutely.
You?
So I think the whole fuss about it being an Oscar winner director is probably is what has made people react badly, because they've gone into it thinking this is going to be really different, and it isn't really different. It is quite Marvelish.
To be fair to those people that are saying that is the way Marvel have been trying to sell it.
Yeah, that's
So
poorly.
they're not
marketed.
helping themselves.
No, absolutely. If they really wanted something different, they failed because it is very much a Marvel movie. However, having said that, it does feel moodier and it does feel more realistic.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It doesn't feel as bright as a lot of Marvel movies, and I watched it on IMAX on a nice big screen. I think the CGI is muddled and confusing. I think the deviants, which appear to be made out of leftover industrial cables, are odd. and yeah, hard to follow. Hard to follow in the same way that the live action Transformers, robots were hard to follow. Not that they're bad or they're badly animated. They just look a bit confusing and messy on screen, and I found that quite difficult. But they also, I mean, one of them evolves like a Pokemon, it literally changes before your very eyes, kind of thing. And there's the whole running thing about the Divergents evolving, but this guy doesn't evolve over. They don't evolve over centuries. They evolve like that, like a Pokemon, basically. Which is strange. And yeah, I think that I kind of get why the Eternals are strange. Like, all of them are. I think a lot of the complaints about the movie are that the characters the Eternals play are weird. They're not particularly heroic necessarily. They're not. They speak in slightly strange ways. They almost seem disinterested in some ways in a lot of the stuff of the world, maybe. And I think that's probably not right. If you're 7,000 years old, you're gonna be a bit weird. It's not. You've seen a lot, and maybe you would be quieter. Maybe you would speak less. Maybe you would be a bit more dour, potentially.
Well, you can't show that you're eternal and you live forever.
Yeah.
That you're immortal.
Which means it's very hard to form meaningful relationships outside of your group of Eternals.
Exactly.
Which is explored in the movie. But yeah, and there's a lot of people saying Angelina Jolie is a bit wasted, which I kind of agree with. I mean, I think I read a review that said the director forgets that Angelina Jolie's in this movie, and I think that's a bit harsh. I think they could make a whole TV show about Athena. I think when
she's
character.
on screen, she's great.
When she's on screen, she is fantastic, and her relationship with Gilgamesh is
I'd watch a whole movie of that.
And I think that's kind of the problem, is that this movie is far too long. It feels far too long. I had to nip out to go for a wee, which is something I hate doing at the cinema. I absolutely try and avoid it at all costs. But I had to, because this film is just.
And I bet you
long.
didn't miss anything, did you?
I did. I don't think so. No, I certainly didn't come back and go, "Oh, I don't know where I am." But at the same time, it also doesn't feel long enough, because it feels like the movie is far too long, but it also feels like we don't get enough of the things that are important. Like, we don't understand enough about Gilgamesh and Athena's relationship. We don't understand enough about what about Sprite and about Icarus and about Cersei and where the fuck Icarus has been for 2,000 years, by the way.
I don't think it's 2,000. I think it's 200, but still, he's just been in South Dakota.
Either way, he's been gone for a long time.
There's characters turn up and they see each other after a while, and you think, how has that happened? Why are they like that together? I'm trying not to be spoilers. It's a bit weird. I think the pacing's wrong. I think I really enjoyed the second. What is it? 2.5 hours, Rich? How long is this?
Yeah, but it's a bit more than that.
Is it?
A little bit more. Yeah. I think 240.
I liked the last hour. I thought the first hour was hard going, especially the getting the band back together kind of sequences. And
I knew it was going to be that.
Did you? I
kind of thought it was going to be that kind of, collecting your mood. I quite liked the first half an hour or so where they explained about how they've helped all the different civilizations and stuff. And then I lost it a little bit when they split up, and like you say, like the band coming back together again. Like they split up and then get back together. I hope that's not a spoiler.
No, that's fine.
It shouldn't be. And then you're right, like the last bit, like the last fights and the revelations and stuff. It's
enjoyable.
back into it then. I enjoyed this movie. I don't see what people are hating on it so much.
Right.
You know?
Well, let me throw a few things at you and see how you think it.
Okay.
Pacing.
Well, yes, we've talked about the pacing, and I get that. I understand that. It's a long movie. Some of it feels a bit draggy, and also some of it feels like we could have had more.
Yeah.
You know, and that's my major gripe.
You got any gripes with the cast at all?
No, I don't think so.
I've got a problem.
I quite
and
like
it feels
the
quite
cast.
harsh saying it.
Yeah.
I think Gemma Chan, this is horrible, I don't know if I can put it in. I don't think she's as strong as everyone else. I think she struggles to carry that film.
I think that is harsh. And I think Gemma Chan is a good choice for this, because I think she is quite... She's come from Humans, essentially, where she plays a robot, you know, who looks like a human. And again, a similar character of Cersei in this is that she is a 7,000-year-old being who has seen the whole of humanity's existence and is somehow trying to integrate herself into that. And to me, I feel like that's a kind of...
I found her so dull. So dull.
Really? I think you're supposed to. I think she's supposed to be a bit dull.
When you've got other characters
I think that's
are so large, like Kingo Canal's character, and you've got...
Yeah, but they can't all be like Kingo. If every Eternal was like Kingo, it'd be fucking unbearable.
It's not even what they say. Like, Athena, like Angelina Jolie doesn't say much, but she has this like quality when she's on screen that you're like, okay, I'm watching like next level kind of thing. I think she's great, Gemma Chan. I just think maybe it's the bits she's in are not as strong. She doesn't get to do anything.
I mean, I disagree. I think she's actually quite good.
She's important to the story. I don't know. I just didn't. She's the one up that and old Drew gig, what his name is. Oh, Barry.
Oh, Barry Keoghan. Yeah, I didn't get him, I have to say. Yeah, but I don't think that's him. I think it's the character. Is that I don't really get where that character's anger comes from. That it needed more explanation and
a bit more flushing out.
Yeah, and I can't say a bit more without spoiling it. Really,
we're doing a good job so far. Keep it up, mate.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm really trying hard.
Because guys, this is a hard film not to read that room. Like, everything that happens is pretty much a spoiler.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
There's so many people
there are
oh
lots
my
of
god,
spoilers.
this is a revelation. There's a revelation here. Like every 10 minutes, there's a new revelation of something that kicks the story on.
Yeah.
There's one scene. It's the fight in, I think it's Druig's forest.
Yeah.
And in the screen I was in, I could barely see what was going on. It was like a creative choice. Like, like The Revenant, I'm going to film this in natural daylight.
Natural
and
light.
I just couldn't tell. Like they filmed it at dusk. It looked like all dawn. One of the two when there's barely any lights.
Golden hour kind of time. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna make this arty.
Yeah.
But at least let me see it. But you said the IMAX screening you were in, because I didn't see IMAX. You saw IMAX. That wasn't a problem. So maybe it's okay on a...
No, I don't remember having that problem. And I'm quite sensitive to that, because that's the thing I hate the most about, like...
Yeah, it
reminded
me of Alien vs. Predator. I was like, I just wish I loved to see what's going on right now. I bet it's great, because it sounds great.
Yeah. I don't remember feeling that I couldn't see what was going on. So, yeah, maybe in IMAX it was a different kettle of fish, and maybe once this comes to Disney Plus, which it will inevitably do very soon, I should think, then I'll watch it on a small screen and probably agree with you. I didn't get that. So yeah, go and watch it in IMAX if you can, people.
A lot of it looks quite nice.
It's lovely looking. It really is a lovely looking film.
I like the world it was building. I think when you watched it, you thought, I didn't enjoy it, and I did enjoy it. I definitely enjoyed it. But like you said,
I didn't think that you didn't enjoy it. I didn't think you thought I would enjoy it, if that makes sense. Because when we were talking, you were like, I'm really interested to see what you're going to say about this.
I think it's quite a diverse film.
I think I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. But I do think it's hard to... Because the characters of the Eternals, their relationships with each other are strange. And they are strange characters. I almost feel like that kind of has unsettled people quite a bit watching it. Like Richard Madden's Icarus, I found very cold and very kind of unlikable. And I think that kind of coldness runs through a lot of the Eternals characters.
Normally Marvel movies are quite colourful. The palette they use it quite,
yeah.
the reds, blues, the greens. This palette is a lot darker.
Absolutely, a lot more muted, and I think that's deliberate.
Do you think it's designed for more of an adult audience, or are they aiming for the Marvel audience?
See, I would say that, but I had like a couple of 13, 14-year-old kids like sat next to me in the cinema, and they were loving it, absolutely loving it. Like whooping and going and like, oh my god, that looks so good, and like they were really
that's
into
good.
this. And so maybe that's the market.
Because I thought they were trying to market this towards more of an adult themed. You got the sex scene in here.
Well, yes, but without spoilers, it ain't sexy. So yeah, I think maybe it would appeal to kids. I'm not sure if it appealed to like little kids. I'm not sure if like George would watch it.
You can't sell action figures off this, can you?
Not
the costumes. You're not going to go into the Disney store tomorrow, are you, and pick up a Icarus suit?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think they're too complex characters to appeal to younger children. I think early teens and older than that, I think. And it is a 12A, so that's what it should be aiming for anyway, I suppose. But I think the characters are quite complex and nuanced, and they are not superheroes necessarily. They're not action man superheroes. They're not, what we're used to from the MCU. They're definitely more complex than that. They almost have to be cajoled into helping, because they're not humans, and they're just kind of here to do a job.
Yeah.
That's kind of their, they've got a mission, and that's what they're here to do. And I think, that's okay.
Yeah.
They have a love for each other that they don't necessarily, that comes through. That bond they have with each other is the strongest bit. And I think, Kingo's probably the most relatable.
He's the most fun.
And he's the one that kind of likes, he's the one that likes people the most.
That is true.
I would say. He's the one who likes humans the most. And so that's what makes him the most relatable one. But essentially, these Eternals are gods. They're what we would describe as gods. And so they should be different to people. They are otherworldly.
Are you looking forward to more of them?
I'm kind of interested.
I'm intrigued, aren't I?
As to where they're going to go with this franchise, with this bit of the franchise, and how it's going to link up with other bits of the franchise, and what characters we're gonna like run into, how it's going to expand the Marvel universe, because this is like the start of like phase 2, isn't it?
Well, we're phase 5 or something now.
Oh well, yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking of comic books. So we feel like we've done the golden age of comics. And we're now entering the kind of maybe the silver age or something, I don't know, but we're entering a different age of the comic books, which is, I don't know, I know a lot less, so I'm not going to be going into these movies with the preconceptions that I have of like an Iron Man movie or a Spider-Man movie, where I've read a lot of comic books about them. I'm going into this one going, I don't know a lot about these characters, if anything. Like after the movie, I had to Google a couple of characters to know a bit more about them. So
we should say there are 2 credit stings.
There are. We won't spoil them.
They're interesting.
Yeah, make sure you stay to the end of the credits. That's important.
Yeah, and then you can Google what the fuck's going on afterwards.
You can Google and go, what was that?
Like everyone else. Rich, 2 questions, and 2 questions only. Is it an unequal sequel? And 2, the rating. Let's do it.
I mean, I'm not...
It's hard to do an unequal sequel question, isn't it? Because...
What? Yeah, it is. Because what's it a sequel to? I'm sorry, we've pushed it too hard. Because what's the last Marvel movie? Shang-Chi. This has got nothing to do with it.
It's
whatsoever.
a different tone, isn't it? It's completely different.
Completely different. So I guess unequal, because it's not like any other MCU movie, but also at the same time, just like every other MCU movie.
It's a really weird balance.
It is weird. It is hard. And yeah. And I guess I think that's probably why there's so mixed reviews on it. Because,
it's Marmite.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think
reckon?
it is Marmite. I think I don't think it's a love it or hate it. I think it's people all come out and go, I love bits of it.
Do you reckon it's a grower then?
I think it probably will be. It felt like very much a first movie in a big, long...
I think the more you watch it, you get more out of it.
I think so.
Spot things.
And I think all the people saying it's the worst Marvel movie ever just need to grow up a little. I think they're just not right. And and that's just, It's just wrong.
That's cool. Out of 7?
Out of 7.
Oh, this is tough. This is tough.
It is. This is really tough. It's really tough because I genuinely don't think it's that bad.
Oh, don't give it a low score.
I also don't think it's that good.
Give it in the middle then.
It has made. Well, no, because I think it's better than the middle. I think it's better than the middle.
4.5.
I'm not going that high. I think 4.
Okay.
I think it's a 4.
I agree with you. I was trying to, help you out there, but yeah, I think it's a 4 as well.
And the reason I think it's a 4 is because I actually think it's a decent movie in there, and it's just got messy bits around it. Like, and probably things the director had nothing to do with, like the CGI, and, I think probably bits that got dropped in after the director had finished their job. And, that felt a bit... But actually, I think there's a decent movie in there. And like you say, I think on second watch it'll improve.
Would you recommend for someone to go and see it? If someone said, I'm going to see it tomorrow, what shall I watch?
I would say go and see it if you don't mind a long movie and if you can get to an IMAX. Because that is the best way to see this movie. And also don't have a drink for about 3 hours beforehand. Because you will need to wee.
Yeah. I made it all the way through, Rich. I'm not showing off, and my bladder was fine.
Well, I'm older than you. I would say is that also if you've got younger teenagers, take them to see it because they'll enjoy it.
Yeah,
I think.
I agree. Well done. I think we absolutely smashed that because we gave away nothing.
Woo!
And now to the fun part that everyone loves, us trying to sell ourselves. Go for it.
Yeah, well, by the time this comes out, we will be, 3 days away from Series 2 starting? So make sure, when you're listening to this on Friday, make sure you're subscribed to Unequal Sequel because our first interview episode will come on Monday morning. Ready for your commute. It'll be glorious, and it's a bumper one. It's super long for us. Like, we do not generally have episodes over an hour. And this is a bumper.
We definitely don't have episodes over an hour and a half. And this one...
No, we never do. And this one definitely is.
It's worth it.
But it's so good. Oh, yeah, it's so good. So make sure you subscribe. Give us a little like. Give us a little click. Give us a rating. If you want to write us a little review, that would be lovely. Please give us a 5-star review. It would be delightful to get
If you haven't got an Apple phone, grab someone who has an Apple phone and just iTunes.
That's a good idea. Even if you think we're a 4-star podcast, not a 5-star
Ignore the
one,
4.
we'll take it.
No, I want the 5. Just go 5. What harm is it?
Also, you can find us on all the social medias. We are on Instagram at Unequal Sequel. We are on Twitter at Unequal Sequel. And we have an email address, which is unequalsequel@hotmail.com. And I got it right again. And I knew I was going to get it right this time. Also, you can we're going to be popping up on a few little other podcasts too. So, yeah, hopefully we'll find us on some other podcasts. We're going to be on, what we're going to be on, Dave? We're going to be on...
Well, don't tell them.
Hardcore Listings. Yeah, why not? We can tell people because then they can keep an eye out, can't they? So we're going to be on Hardcore Listings with Chris and Stu, which is one of my favourite podcasts, and I'm so excited. Like, the bit in Despicable Me where she's like, "It's so fluffy, I'm going to die." And I'm like, "I'm so excited, I'm going to die. I'm going to be on Hardcore Listings."
You should see his face, guys. It's crazy.
We're going to be on the Pod Bible podcast and hopefully in the Pod Bible magazine again. So keep an eye out for that. I think we're going on Fundamentals as well, maybe.
I believe so.
We're going to be all over the place. We're going to be on loads of different podcasts. So keep an ear out. You can hear our stupid views about movies and other places, not just this one.
Cool. Well done. I've got nothing else to say, so that's a thank you from me and bye-bye from him.
Do you want to do that bit again?
That's a thank you from me and a bye-bye from him.
Don't you want to say goodbye too, Dave, though?
I'll say bye as well. Bye-bye from me and a bye-bye from him.
Bye!
Have a good week.